The heart and soul of the Denver Broncos defense just made a statement, and believe me, it matters. Vance Joseph isn't just surviving the pressure, he's thriving in it. Heading into this season, expectations are sky high, the kind of pressure we haven't felt since Peyton Manning led us to glory. And you know what? That's a great thing. The Broncos defense, it's no longer a question mark. It's a warning sign to the rest of the NFL. And at the center of it all, Vance Joseph. He's not just calling plays, he's building a wall, brick by brick, with grit, fire, and purpose. An eye-opening piece in the Denver Post made it clear the man with the most on the line this season isn't Bo Nix or Sean Payton, it's Vance. Last year, he took a unit that was battered, doubted, and disrespected and turned it into one of the top defenses in the league. Not with star-studded depth, but with resilience, smart scheming, and a defense anchored by the league's best cornerback, Patrick Surtain, too. Let's be honest, this might be the best Broncos defense we've seen since our Super Bowl 50 run, and it just got stronger. Bringing in elite talent like Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga, that's not just luck, that's a sign. These guys chose Denver because they believe in what's being built here. Hufanga in particular was drawn to the relentless, aggressive style this unit plays with. It's not flashy, it's fierce. And guys like Zach Allen, they didn't just sign here to collect checks. Allen knew exactly what he was getting into after playing under Joseph in Arizona. A chance to be part of something special, something dangerous. So yeah, the pressure is real. The expectations are loud. But this team, this defense, they're not running from it. They're leaning into it. Last season, the defense had its built-in excuses. Not anymore. Vance Joseph won't have the luxury of leaning on depth-related setbacks or what-ifs this time around. Those days are over. Every hole has been patched, every weakness reinforced. Now, it's about execution. Plain and simple. Remember those rough outings? Jerry Jeudy torching the defense in practice? James Cook running wild? Gus Edwards carving through? Last year, maybe there were valid reasons. Missing key starters like Riley Moss or Alex Singleton. But this year, that excuse book is closed and buried. Singleton is back in the fold, stronger than ever. And replacing P.J. Locke in the secondary, enter Talanoa Hufanga, a relentless playmaker built for this exact system. Add to that your top draft pick, Jonah Ellis, and the continued development of young studs like Jaquan McMillian and Caden Stearns. And suddenly this defense doesn't just have potential, it has teeth, and they know it. Just listen to Patrick Surtain II, the quiet assassin in our secondary, who made his voice loud and clear in a recent podcast with Marshawn Lynch. When asked about facing the Kansas City Chiefs again this season, Surtain didn't hold back. "We're going to get after them, boys," he said, confident, unshaken, ready. He believes this team will finish the job they started, and so should we. And it's not just Denver saying it. Even Kansas City insiders are starting to feel it. Writers from Arrowhead Addict, basically the Chiefs' version of predominantly orange, admitted the storm is coming. They know the Broncos are the ones on the rise, not the Chargers, not Vegas, not anyone else. They're hedging their bets, saying it might be a little too soon, but they feel it. They know it. The AFC West is slipping from Kansas City's grip, and the Broncos are right there, ready to rip it away. This isn't a rebuild, it's a reckoning, and the fight starts now. The Kansas City Chiefs are facing serious uncertainty, and the ripple effects could hit their offense hard. Wide receiver Rashod Rice is staring down a likely suspension. Dashcam footage confirmed the details. A hit-and-run accident while allegedly driving over 120 miles per hour, fleeing the scene and leaving injured people behind. No accountability, no concern, just gone. If history tells us anything, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell doesn't take these incidents lightly. In the past, similar situations, especially those involving reckless behavior, have resulted in multi-game suspensions, sometimes even half a season or more. At this point, 8 games seems like the minimum Rice could miss. And here's where things get interesting for Broncos country. Denver doesn't face Kansas City until Week 11, and if Rice is suspended, he'll either still be sidelined or just barely back on the field. That's not enough time to sync with Patrick Mahomes, especially after an offseason marred by legal trouble and questions about his commitment. Even top-tier receivers struggle with chemistry when they're not fully integrated. Just look at Hollywood Brown last year. And Rice, he's not stepping in as a WR1 after all that chaos. While the Chiefs deal with drama, the Broncos defense continues to sharpen its edge. Last year, Denver brought the heat like never before, with quarterback hits surpassing even the legendary no-fly zone era. We're talking about a front seven that harassed quarterbacks constantly, led by a wrecking ball named Zach Allen. He recorded 40 QB hits on his own, a number most defensive units would be proud to hit as a group. This isn't hype, it's production, and it's only going up. But here's the best part. Denver is finally out of the financial mess. For years, we were buried in dead cap hits, paying big for players who weren't even on the field, but not anymore. Teams like the Jets, Eagles, and Saints are now carrying that weight, not us. For the first time in a long time, the Broncos aren't even in the top 10 for dead cap this season. That's not just a stat, it's a signal. A smarter front office, a tighter roster, a focused team. The distractions, they're happening elsewhere. The drama, let Kansas City deal with that. In Denver, it's all about business, and this defense is coming for everyone. It's hard to overstate just how far the Denver Broncos have come, financially, competitively, and culturally. Just a short time ago, the Broncos carried the largest dead cap hit in NFL history, thanks to the Russell Wilson contract fallout. Most teams would have crumbled. Most teams would have tanked, but not Denver. Despite the financial handcuffs, this team fought its way into the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. Let that sink in. And now, we're no longer weighed down by the past. As of this season, Denver ranks 12th in dead cap spending, middle of the pack, even while still absorbing a chunk of that Wilson contract. But here's the beautiful part. Next year, the Broncos are projected to be tied for last in dead cap. That means we'll have $0 dragging us down. Financially clean, fully loaded, ready to compete. You simply cannot overlook the work Sean Payton, George Payton, and our ownership group have done to navigate this storm. Turning the biggest dead cap hit into a playoff team and now a legitimate Super Bowl contender is nothing short of remarkable. And the national media is finally starting to recognize it. More analysts, more insiders, they're beginning to admit what we've already felt in our bones. The Denver Broncos are for real. With OTAs continuing next week, the excitement keeps building. But it's not just about the big names. This franchise has always believed in underdogs. And this year, we've got some new names ready to carry that tradition forward. We've seen it before. Chris Harris Jr., C.J. Anderson, Philip Lindsay, all undrafted, all made their mark. And last season, Dondre Tillman came out of nowhere and racked up 5 sacks. That's what this culture builds. And now, a new wave is coming. Keep your eyes on names like Xavier Truss and Clay Webb, both offensive linemen with grit and upside. But one name that's starting to buzz louder than the rest? Karene Reed out of Utah. There's something special about this Utah to Denver pipeline. From Tim Patrick to Jonah Ellis and Devin Vell, the Broncos have a connection with that program, and Sean Payton clearly sees the fire those players bring. Reed is already turning heads and being labeled a game wrecker at camp. This is more than just roster building, it's identity building. And that identity, tough, gritty, fearless, exactly what Broncos country stands for. There's one thing you can always count on in Denver: Underdogs Rising. And when the front office hands out guaranteed money to undrafted players, that's not charity. That's a message. That's belief. This year, Karene Reed and Johnny Walker are 2 names to circle. They've both received significant guarantees, a strong sign the coaching staff sees real potential in them. Behind them, offensive linemen Clay Webb and Xavier Truss round out that top group. These aren't camp bodies. These are players with a real shot to make this 53-man roster. We've seen this before. Last year, Lavelle Bailey and Dondre Tillman got similar guarantees, and they both earned roster spots. When Denver bets on you, they're expecting results, and these guys are already ahead in the race. Let's talk Karene Reed for a second. The guy pops off the tape, whether it's the pick 6 against UCLA or his explosive presence at the line of scrimmage. This man is built for the pros. You watch him move, quick, violent, disciplined, and you realize he's not just another undrafted hopeful. He's a linebacker who hits the weight room like a man possessed. And from all accounts, he's also a high-character leader. Exactly what this defense thrives on. Even Jonah Ellis, who knows what NFL talent looks like, his family is filled with it, publicly praised Reed long before he ever signed with Denver. That speaks volumes. And don't sleep on Johnny Walker either. One of his best moments from last season came against the Kansas City Chiefs, straight up beating their first round offensive tackle. Our undrafted guy dominating their first rounder, that's the kind of energy this team is bringing. With OTAs heating up again this week and media access resuming Thursday, all eyes will be on these players. The competition is going to be fierce, and that's exactly how we like it. But here's the final question for Broncos country. Should we make one more move? The cap space is there. The flexibility is real. There are still impact veterans sitting on the market. If the right opportunity arises, if someone fits the culture and the scheme, should Denver pull the trigger? If not, those funds could still go to smart extensions. Guys like Cortland Sutton, Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, or Nick Bonitto, they've earned it. And retaining our core matters just as much as adding new firepower. This isn't just roster talk. This is team building at its highest level. We're not just looking to compete. We're building to dominate. The Broncos still have cap space, and that gives us options. We can lock up key players, guys who've earned second contracts and deserve to be part of this team's future. Or we can roll that money into next year, where for the first time in years, we'll have zero dead cap tied to Russell Wilson. That's right. No dead money, full financial freedom, the kind of clean slate most franchises dream of. Now, if Denver decides to dip into free agency one more time, there are still some notable names on the board. Running back J.K. Dobbins, formerly with the Ravens and Chargers, is out there. So are wide receivers Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper, both seasoned vets who've made their mark with multiple teams. But here's the thing, if Sean Payton hasn't made a move yet, there's a reason. Remember how fans were begging for a push at Stephon Diggs? Then we saw behind-the-scenes drama, missed OTAs, off-field distractions, and suddenly it was clear, we dodged a bullet. Payton knows exactly what he's doing. He's passed on big names before, and it's paid off. Every move, or non-move, has been strategic, calculated, disciplined. So if Coach decides to make one more bold signing, I'm all in. Because if Sean Payton sees value, then there's value. If he sees a fit, it's because that player fits this culture, this vision, and this mission. This team is being built the right way. No shortcuts, no ego moves. So Broncos country, let's ride forward with confidence. In Sean Payton we trust. In Bo Nix we believe. And this season, we go to war with a team that's ready to shock the NFL. Let's go. Double diamond, double circle.